Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to our new training on OpenCloud. So, for those who don't know, OpenCloud is an artificial intelligence that allows you to create agents and execute tasks. It's like in a company you have employees. Here on OpenCloud we have agents. And today what I'm going to work on with you is that I can create sub-agents in my OpenCloud. Because most people only work with the main agent. So, everything goes in there. Right away you're in contact with that agent, you ask it to perform tasks, and of course that agent will call on an LLM. As you can see here, since it uses the cloud, there are several LLMs available, but what's really interesting is how can I optimize token consumption? Because today, every time you ask it to perform a task, it will use up your balance on your LLM. But if we create sub-agents, and each sub-agent is specialized for a specific task within your company, then when it needs to perform the task, it will simply ask a sub-agent to do it. As a result, consumption will be reduced. And on top of that, we will achieve very high quality execution. Why? Because we will create specific sub-agents tailored to the tasks we need in our company. It's like having employees, each one specialized in doing something according to their expertise. So if there is an engineer in writing, He'll do the writing, and the engineers in ad creation will focus on ads. So when I write a sub-agent, I'll get a better result, and above all, I'll actually use fewer tokens. And that's the purpose of this video. So, for me, in my company, or in OpenCloud's company, with this artificial intelligence, I'm actually going to create an agent, a sub-agent, that will be specialized in writing articles and scripts for YouTube that will convert. There are also those that will work on creating titles and descriptions with a high CTR, others for generating my cover image, and others for optimizing YouTube SEO. So instead of just sending the request or the task to OpenCloud to handle these tasks, OpenCloud will receive the task and send it to the specific agent. And so, as a result, I will get a much more efficient outcome and I will use far fewer tokens. And so, to reach and find the final result, this main agent that will orchestrate the sub-agents will collect their work and send me the result. This is the best way to work with OpenCloud to get an efficient result, especially if we want to use it professionally and we want OpenCloud to really work for us. So we're really going to try to do the first demonstration. I'm going to show you from A to Z how I can create a sub-agent. For example, I'll take the case of a sub-agent that is able to create for me scripts that convert on the internet, scripts for YouTube. So that's just one example, but of course you can do other examples that interest you. For that, I'm going to teach my agent to exactly mimic the behavior of Mr. Beast. So as a result, I'm actually going to get the documentation of Mr. Beast. And I'm going to ask OpenCloud to follow all the steps that this influencer takes in order to create viral videos. And as a result, at the end, I'll have a sub-agent ready to be the best. It's as if I had a Mr. Beast inside my OpenCloud interface. So, I'm going to give you a complete documentation with all the parameters that I'm going to use in this video, which you can, of course, copy and test yourself to actually have a system that is very powerful. So stay until the end. I'll give you the documentation, I'll guide you step by step to create the sub-agent, and at the end, a little gift for those who stick around, so you can actually access my entire video library. In fact, N8N and OpenCloud. Thank you, and let's start with the first installation. Alright, so the first thing to do is we need an OpenCloud server. So the advice I give is that you should never install OpenCloud on your local computer. Why? Because if there's ever an attack with what's called print injection, someone could automatically access the entire hard drive of your local computer. And that's very dangerous. Imagine someone being able to retrieve your photos, your videos just from a simple print injection on your OpenCloud. So as a result, to really work in a secure environment, you should install OpenCloud on a remote server. So for me, what I do is I actually use Hostinger server. It's a secure server. It's disconnected from my computer, so I can test OpenCloud, I can reset it. There's actually no risk in terms of security to my own data. So I'm actually going to leave you the link that will take you directly to this page here, so it's a special page. There you can find OpenCloud automatically installed in complete security, so you don't have to type any lines of code at all. We'll select a server, click confirm, and we'll have direct access to OpenCloud. So here they offer several different packages. So the one I use and recommend is the KVM2. Why? Because it has 2 processors with 8 gigabytes. So that's great. So with 2 processors, OpenCloud will run very smoothly and simply, and it won't lag or slow down. It will really have enough RAM to handle the tasks and commands we give it. Servers with only 1 processor are not recommended because you'll notice some slowness. But if you're a business and you want, OpenClaw handles complex tasks and, in a way, replaces repetitive tasks that agents usually do. Physically, you can go for the 4 processor option with 16 gigabytes of RAM. That one is the most powerful. So for me, I'm simply going to select this server. You'll see here that it will offer me the option to take it for 24 months or less, but if I choose the 24-month plan, I'll get the best price on the market. By the way, there's a little coupon I can offer you here. So for this coupon to work, it's a coupon that Hostinger has offered for people who are creating their first server, so OpenCloud. So, if you already have an old server with Hostinger, it would be a good idea to use a new email address so that you can actually benefit from this coupon. So I click here and I'm going to enter Cloud 10. And there you go, 10. Let's do it again like this. Very good. Apply. And so now it's going to give me a discount of 10. To get a server for 2 years at 178 euros. So again, this is only for people who are creating their first OpenCloud server. Now, there's the possibility to automatically have a Brain, an LLM model, already installed, and that's what I recommend to you. This will prevent you from having to manually configure the ChatGPT or Cloud APIs later on. So by choosing this option, you'll immediately get credits that simply allow you to use it, OpenClaw, safely and pre-installed easily. There you go. All that's left to do is click on Continue to get direct access to the installation of our server. So the first thing to do, you'll see here that the system has just given me a token. Now the token is basically like a password. Of course, I can change it here, and I can even change it later. But please be very careful. You will first need to click right here to display the key and then save it somewhere extremely secure. Think of it as your primary password to access your OpenCloud server at any time. That's the password, so it will be very important to save it. And you also have the option to enter your WhatsApp number, and you can actually enter what we call the Telegram bot token. We simply go to Telegram. We search for Botfather here in the search bar. You'll actually find this channel. I would type new, and it will actually ask me to suggest a name for your bot, Telegram. So here I suggest a name, and then it will tell me to add Terbaboot. That's what I did. And there you go, it gave me a token. So that's very, very easy to do. And in any case, you can even do it later on. You don't have to do it right from the start. At any time, you can configure WhatsApp and Telegram. I'm doing it here because it's very easy. You just needed to have the Telegram app installed. So now I come here, and here we're going to paste this Telegram bot code. And as I mentioned, it's possible to do it later on. All that's left to do now is simply click on deploy. And that's it. We'll just let the system handle the deployment process. So in reality, it's installing the entire system, including the Ubuntu server with the Docker environment. So we'll have an OpenCloud ready to use in just 2 clicks. It only takes a few moments. In fact, the deployment. And as you will see here, and it actually gave me some keys. These are actually credits that I can later use to ask questions to our system. And there's even the option here to click there to reload. If I ever want to reload, it's possible. And right here, I can even click to copy these keys. So really, that's it. It's a system that is OpenCloud. In fact, depending on the model we use, it will handle the reloading and continue to use it automatically. And that's really, really interesting. It saves me from having to create APIs and generate tokens. Especially if you're a beginner and you want to go straight ahead and immediately deploy OpenClaw and use it very quickly. So there you go, my server is now ready. Now, you'll see here in the 3 dots, we have the update section. That's very interesting. Each time, if you click here, it will give you the very latest version of OpenClaw. Yes, that's very interesting. When I click, you'll see that it will take about 2 to 3 minutes. Actually, it's to check for the server update. Let it run. That's the first thing to do when you've just installed the OpenCloud server. And there you go, the project is now updated. So now we have the very latest version. And what I'm going to do is click here on open. So remember that we actually saved our token. So we've already saved it. So I'm going to use the token here. So here, this is my code, and I simply click on login. You'll see what it's going to do. If I click on overview here, it's ready to be operational. And this is the URL. So what you're going to do, look here, there's agent. I click on agent, and now I'm going to detect the LLM that was installed automatically, because remember, we have 10 credits. And here, of course, you can reload them if you click here to add credits. But here, by default, it's using GPT-4, and that's a bad deal. I'm telling you right now, you shouldn't use ChatGPT as the main model. When you're working with OpenClaw, because it has not exactly 10 limits, but there are restrictions imposed by OpenAI up to today. I hope this will be unlocked later on, but Claude, in principle, means it's much more suitable. And here, on Claude, you'll see that there are two models. There's 4.6 and 4.5. The 4.5 is very, very good. It can do the job. You can work well with 4.5, and 4.5 is not expensive. That means you can really send a huge number of requests. But the 4.6 is much more powerful, though it's a bit more expensive, which is normal. But honestly, the power you can get here with this system is incredible. You click on save to save, and there you go, that's my system. It's ready when I open the chat. Here we can start the conversation right away. So you see, now we can say that our server is ready. So we've installed OpenClaw on a secure VPS server. We haven't typed a single command line. And on top of that, the EI and the token are already actually connected, so the system is ready to start. Let's get started with creating our subagent. So here is the documentation, which I'll leave for you in the description. You'll go all the way to the bottom to find the subagents. So here, I'm actually going to ask it. I'm going to give it the information about everything related to it. The data and information actually provided by Mr. Beast. So now I just copy that. There are a couple of ways. Either I come directly here into the chat and start typing here, or also I can use Telegram. So here, there's also the option to have the entire conversation directly on Telegram. So now I can click on start. So now it's connecting very, very well. So now there's a good connection between Telegram and my system. And now I'm going to give it the information. So of course, I'm going to copy this. It's a bit of the content that exists in this documentation. I just took a small part, and of course this part is available on the internet. So now I'm going to paste this information. And also, there's the possibility to give it a command. So the command, that's exactly it. I'm going to ask it to create a subagent whose mission will be to create scripts. So for any request that I might have later on, if I ever ask it to create a script for my videos, then it will actually go to this subagent. There, it will know the skills that this agent will have. But be careful, here I actually added a very important piece of information, which is that I asked it not to include the heartbeat. So the heartbeat is a file that OpenClaw creates when creating agents, and each time it has to check information about the agent in question. And it will repeat this every 10 minutes. And so, as a result, just by performing this check, it actually uses up resources, it consumes tokens. And I don't want that. I don't want it to check these agents. So in this case, we're just going to copy this request, and I'll come back to it for sure. There you go, my Telegram, and I'm going to add, so right here, we're actually going to, so here's this instruction so that it creates it for me. At this stage, the only remaining step is to run the command, which sends over the information to the system. Following that, the system is now busy summarizing the details found in this content to give us a clear overview of what is there. It understood that it's an agent that will create scripts with 3 metrics: the CTR to increase the click-through rate, as well as retention in terms of watching, in terms of people who will watch the video. So it understood all the instructions, all the commands. Here it also sees and actually displays the complete structure of a video, Mr. Bits. So now it has all the dates and all the data. Now we're actually going to leave it for a moment, because here it's going to proceed with this creation. There. Generally it takes between 2 and 3 minutes for it to finish. In fact, all the information, so there you go. It understood that I don't want to put the heartbeat here, and so there you go. It also needs it. It asked me if I want to control this agent from a separate telegram. So now we're going to give it the information. So now I'm going to tell it I want you to call it Mr. Beast. And second, I'm going to tell it without telegram. Now I'm going to tell it I want to use telegram. Well, let's just say it's telegram, simply put. So the creation of the telegram can be done specifically later, or we can just let the telegram work only with the main agent. And it's the main agent that will ask it to be executed. And there you go. So now I'm launching it. So you'll see that it's going to create, in fact, a file called soul.md of the agent. Actually, the one in question with all the information I provided to it. And now it's going to update. Basically, there you go, open Claude and do all the configuration. So generally speaking, this will take between 1 to 2 minutes. So I'm going to let the system run. And now it's telling me that it has just created the agent. And now it's moving on to the configuration. So we'll let it run. And afterwards, we'll go check to see if it really did create the agent properly or not. There you go. It has just finished. So now if I scroll down a bit, it has moved on to creating the configuration without the heartbeat. And afterwards, in fact, the agent was created successfully. It actually gave me, here you go, the summary, especially right here. It used the same model that I am currently using, which is Claude Sonnet 4.6 and my friend Lanish. It wrote the description. And now there you go. It asks me, whenever you're ready, if I want to connect it with another one on Telegram, and I don't want to do it right away. I only want to communicate with the main agent, and it's the main agent who will then select this sub-agent. Now, we're going to try to see if this sub-agent is available or not. So when I click on the agent here, I come here and click there. And there you go. The sub-agent has just been created with the basic information right here. And so as a result, we've successfully created our sub-agent. Of course, we still have the main agent, and it's the one that will call this sub-agent if I ever want to execute separate tasks. Now, I'd like to actually test this agent and see how it behaves, whether it will call this sub-agent or not. So if I come back here to my Telegram, I'm simply going to enter a basic prompt. Here, I'm going to ask it to write me a script in English on this topic, the topic being OpenCloud, and see how OpenCloud will replace the virtual assistant. So now I'll give it a few instructions and actually send my request. You'll see that now it will switch to typing mode. So now it's processing the information. And now look, this is what's really interesting. As a matter of fact, it went directly over to my personal agent, where I specifically assigned it this particular main task. So now we'll give it a little time to finish. So right now it's in typing mode. So it's working on this new task, and we'll look at the result afterwards. And there you have it. So I was able to find the result, and the result that's just been displayed here is the one that was produced based on the documentation I provided. And of course, thanks to our sub-agent, which was able to handle this task. So as a result, creating a sub-agent is very important on OpenCloud. This actually helps reduce token consumption and provides much more personalized and more effective results. And of course, I can install skills on this sub-agent. I can also, of course, give it more information, especially regarding the session. It will remember all the sessions that have been run with this sub-agent. The more I send requests, the more I make demands, the more I ask it, for example, to fetch longer registered data information or to actually give instructions, these instructions. It will remember them well within this sub-agent, and the main agent is the one that will orchestrate everything. Finally, I obviously have the possibility to create several sub-agents, and each one will be specialized in a specific task. So that later, when I give an order to the main agent, it will know which sub-agents to call. And as a result, it will then provide me with a very high quality result with minimal token consumption.